My microphone was muted. All right, okay, all right. How the fuck did that even happen? Hi, hello, hi. Yes. Hi, MJ. Hi. I am live early. I was doing some things. I was doing some typing. I figured out how to do something fun that I'm not going to do yet because it's a surprise that I'm going to end up overusing once I use it once. I also... I started... I wanted to work on my production quality, so I started a project. We can take a little sneak peek. All right, if I go to cam only, I can go to black, and then I have a spotlight. But I don't know how to make the spotlight, because you can see it kind of on my cam. But I want, the idea is for my camera to fade to black, and then to play the spotlight, and then the spotlight shows me in the camera. I don't know how to do that yet. I don't know how to do that. What the fuck? It spoiled it. That was my surprise. I have a hotkey for clapping that apparently... geez, I need to figure out how to make that not happen on scene switches. Fuck. You're playing Fort with a streamer today. You don't know the time? Hell yeah, hell yeah. That's pretty cool. That, you know what? That gets, how do I do it again? How do I? Very cool, very cool. Very cool. It goes a little longer than I would like. It goes a little longer than I would like, but it's, I think we're on to something, alright? I think I can make other potentially better sounds, but I just want to be able to clap when something good happens. You made friends with a few streamers today. Not actually today, but this week. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Wait, not today, but this week. Is that, is this week future or past? Is it for the game or for the making friends? Either way, I'm happy for you, and it's a good thing. I don't know what is not today and what is today. Streamers are cool, man. Streamers are cool. Streamers are poggies. And speaking of poggies, we're starting off today with a little React content because I watched this video a very long time ago and it kind of convinced me to use the layout that I decided to use, even though it's not what he uses in the video. But it's the speedrunner's guide to typing fast. It's a speedrunning learning how to type. And so I'm going to watch it and we're going to see, based on how quickly we can type right now and based on what I'm good and bad at, what do I need to work on, and this is how we're going to refine our training regiment right here, right now. Friends with streamers this past week, and you're playing with one of them today. Hell yeah, hell yeah. That's pretty good. So does my audio work? And if so, is it... The noise is backgroundy and quiet, I think. It looks a little too loud. I think I'm just a quiet fella. He's fast as fuck, boy!
Hello, hello. My name is
200?
Valorant. Welcome to the Speedrunner's Guide to
no,
Typing.
I do want
The
to
point
that.
of this guide is
Maybe
simple.
I'll turn it up
To get you
too.
200 words per minute, on English 200, on Monkey Type, as fast as possible. Whether you're learning and...
Wait, he said English 200. That's fast as fuck. I don't think I'll ever... I will definitely at some point type 200 words per minute. But I don't think it'll be anytime soon. Cracked at Fort? Dude, being cracked at Fort is insane. I don't understand how people build. I can't even move my fingers that fast. We're going to learn how to move our fingers that fast here, right now, right here, right now. All right? It all starts at typing quickly. I think that's the that's the foundation of success in this world. Typing quickly. Because if you can move your hands fast and you can get words onto a page fast, you can think fast because you don't have to slow down your thinking to type what you're thinking, and then you can hit the buttons fast, and then you can take fast notes when you want to learn something. Big Sesh is the streamer. His webcam and background are so blue. Is that because he's looking at a mostly blue screen right here, right now? He's a very blue fella. He's a very blue guy. Big Sesh. Not to be confused with Lil Sesh. That's what it's called when you go outside to smoke a J. I have men in my ear right now saying, Griffman1212 has been telling me to play Arc Raiders and Hightail, and I told him to fuck himself when he told me to play Hightail, and now our mutual friend is giving me the advice to pick Arc Raiders. I will respond with heard and agreed, and we'll goop it up in the near future. This is what I'm saying, typing fast makes you think faster, because I was thinking and saying things, but I wasn't typing as fast as I was thinking. So if I speed that up, I can think faster. He's very cool, and he'll appreciate promo. Hell yeah, hell yeah. You promo me and Big Sesh and at DeegsX. Deegs nuts. That sounds like a Dream Blunt rotation. Holy shit, this guy has quite a schedule. What does that mean? I don't think the schedule is real. I think that just implies that he streamed, but it says Saturday today. He has an event for today that says 16 hours ago. I don't know what the fuck that means. Deegs is friends with Big Sesh. Big Sesh seems like he streams on multiple platforms because I can see his Twitch name in his Twitch overlay. I have a feeling that this is meant to go somewhere else. I have a feeling. They're cool fellas. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'll drop a follow on Big Sesh. Find a little DeegsX, drop a follow on him. I'll tune in and get connected. Deegs is a purple guy. Do I need to pick a color? These guys are either purple and or blue, and I'm just a guy in a room. They're making me self-conscious about my lack of coloration. Perp. Smoking that. Perp. Deegs calls purple burp. Burp. I'm emphasizing the R though. How do you emphasize the P in perp? Perp. Yeah, you can't really draw out a P sound. P. P. Perp. Perpendicular. Perpin.
An alternative
Alright,
keys 200.
We gotta lock in and figure out what we're doing today, because the longer that this video stays on my screen, he said perp with the R, because he's from the south. Perp. Perp. Perper. South. Wait, MJ, I gotta lock you in. I gotta figure out how we're gonna do this. Yeah, find me the clip. We will investigate. We will steal his personality, and we will clone the way that he says perp. We will perpetrate.
Oh, my name is Valorance. Welcome to the Speedrunner's Guide to Typing.
By the way, this guy's name is Valorance, not to be confused with the game. He is apparently a very fast typer. I've seen this video before. I forgot the whole video. It's probably, it's got to be a pretty good video because I watched it and I liked it, I think.
The point of this guide is simple. To get you 200 words per minute, on English 200, on monkey type, as fast as possible.
200.
Whether you're learning an alternative keyboard layout, or you're getting to 100 for the first time, this guide is for you. To prove to you that this method actually works, I'll be relearning typing alongside you. If you're already semi-familiar with typing, the method I'm going to use is learning a new keyboard layout. I'm going to be learning a layout called Strand, and it is a slightly modified layout created by the one and only Oxy. It trades the BL bigram for a better M position. If you're a new typist, don't worry. It's a completely different topic and it's not related to this video. That being said, let's get straight into it. First, I want to go over some terminology.
Okay, maybe this isn't the video that I got graphite from, because when I was researching this, I came across a ton of videos, and one guy who's really fast at typing and was also doing a similar video to this, he was like, yeah, here's the layout I'm learning. Graphite like just came out, and if I knew about it, I would have done that instead. And then I looked into it, and I was like, you know what, that does look pretty optimal. And so that's why I ended up on graphite.
Let's go, we're gonna get right to it. No delay tonight. You were ready.
Deegs.
Got started tonight.
I had Deegs open, and his starting screen just ended on his latest replay.
So we're on the same page. English 200 refers to the 200 most common words in English. Monkey Type is an extremely popular typing website used by many. The primary metric to a typist's skill is their 60-second personal best.
60 seconds.
Now,
Okay,
of course, this
that's
isn't
not
fully
what I'm tracking.
representative of actual typing. You actually miss out a lot on what typing really is. But it is nonetheless difficult, and this is evidenced by looking at this distribution graph. You can see that the vast majority of users fall
I'm a
between
slow
60 to 70
typer.
words per minute. That being said, that's enough rambling. Let's just get into
I'm
it. As a
slow,
side
I'm
note, I'll be
slow.
showing my own improvement clips in this video, and the day number will be in the bottom right. This video will include chapters below. Each of these chapters represents a specific skill set you should learn before moving on to the next section. I'll give suggestions when to move to the next skill set based on words per minute goals. For the first couple, there really isn't one for this, and you should work on them whenever you can. I'll get more into details.
So we've passed memorization, which is just learn where the letters are. I know in my brain where the letters are. Next would be touch typing, although there's a lot more. There's memorization intro, and then there's I'm going to learn, and then there's memorization. So I'm not going to skip ahead just yet, but I remember the basis of the video. I'm just going to crank up the speed because I mostly just want to figure out what I'm supposed to do
When we get there.
right here, right now.
Can you name every key on your keyboard? Left to right,
Yes.
top to bottom. Q, W, E, R, T, Y, U, I, O, P, A, S, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, semicolon, Z, X, C, V,
Okay,
B,
you're a psychopath.
N,
for going
M,
through the whole
comma,
thing.
period.
You could have just done.
I think it was forward slash.
Top row
Yeah.
and
If you're able to
separate.
type without looking at your keyboard, or you can type more than about 35 words per minute, go ahead and move to the next section. However, if you're below 30 words per minute, or can't touch type, / type without looking at your keyboard, stick around. If you've ever played a sport before, or played an instrument, you've probably heard of a term called muscle memory. This is the ability for you to perform a task without having to mentally think about it. For an everyday example, that may be writing, or even picking up a glass of water to drink. When it comes to fast typing, you have to be able to develop this skill as well. Now, to learn muscle memory, most schools utilize something called FJ typing practice. Most of you are probably familiar with this, and most of you were probably confused when you were learning typing this way. It isn't obvious what it teaches you, especially because you're not typing words, you're just typing
I
around
remember
letters.
doing
The
this
whole
and
point
it
is to build
sucked.
muscle memory. That's why it's often stressed to put your fingers in the right
also
position
like
and use
a
the correct
couple
finger to press
years
each of the
ago.
keys, rather than simply how fast you can find each key. Now, unfortunately, this method is rather flawed.
I
I'll
think I
explain why
also
in a
did it
later
when I
section,
was a kid,
but it just isn't
like
ideal.
learning how to
The method
type.
we will be using is a little bit different.
Um,
But before we get
but
into that,
I
this is where I
definitely
explain
did
how
it a
I will
couple
be
years
relearning
ago.
typing alongside you.
So I
Because
was
I can
like,
already type
man,
at
I wanna learn
176
how to
words
do
per
it
minute,
correctly.
there is no real reason for me to try and redo this as I am already past all of these skills. But what if I wasn't? How would I do that? Well, the very first skill is muscle memory, and everything else just builds upon this. So, how do I break muscle memory? Well, it's simple. If I were to want to press the key E, I already know that it's my middle finger. My left hand middle finger, just reach up, press that key, that is E. But what do you think happens if I swap that key for another letter? That's right, my finger would no longer know where it is. And if I try to use the muscle memory I already have, will simply press the wrong keys. So, the easiest way to reset my typing ability is simply by swapping around all the keys. As you may have heard in the earlier section, I'm doing this by learning an alternative keyboard layout. I'm not here to explain what these are, as that's not the point of this video. That'll actually hopefully be my next video, but it is rather complicated, and the short summary is QWERTY, which is the name of the arrangement of keys on most keyboards, looks like this, is fundamentally flawed because it was designed for typewriters. In the modern era,
BLDWZ. Wait, that's graphite. Wait, that's my layout. Hold on. One of the best modern layouts, graphite. Okay, so it was here. It just wasn't like a part of the video. It was just like, yeah, he showcases it and he hypes it up, and I was like, you know what? That looks convenient. You got the clip? Just shoot it to me on Discord. I don't know. Oh, I do have. Cool. I didn't know that Twitch allowed links in chat. I guess that's a Nightbot thing.
Is it the perp? Yo, did you get the perp?
The perp.
Because that looks different. Is it the perp? Yo, did you get the perp?
The perp.
Did MJ get the purple hair, bro? Shit. See, I wouldn't do it. I don't want to change my hair color. I've never done it before. I definitely... Because that looks different. Is it the perp? Yo, did you get the...
Is it the perp? He's got good perp. I like it, I like it. The perp? I feel like that's an emphasis on the U, but as an E sound. The perp? That's good. Yo, did you get the perp? I'm gonna start saying that to my friends who do drugs. Yo, did you get the perp? Hell yeah, hell yeah. We got the perp. That's where your ring fingers go. On the perp.
We don't face the same problems as typewriters, so it makes typing inefficient. I'm telling you this because the keys are arranged.
Wait, did my stream pick up that audio? I actually have no idea. They prom the Carolinas? The perp. The prom. I am also prom the Carolinas. I got a lot of friends smoking that perp. I am being notified that someone is doing work. The perp.
On my keyboard have a specific purpose, even if it looks a bit strange.
This is strange. This is weird, man. What the fuck do you mean my keyboard isn't even that large. I don't have a thing down there. How do you fucking... B is supposed to be more common than K. Is that true? I don't... Huh? You have V and Z over here. You have C over here. That's probably why they put graphite as like a, hey, this is a really good layout. Because C over here fucks up copy paste. They're not near each other anymore. I have C and V right next to each other. Big Sesh. Charlotte is... It's an interesting city. I've been to Charlotte a few times, never for like anything significant, but every time I go, I'm like, God damn, nobody knows how to drive here.
That being said, let's actually begin the learning. Now, you may recall that I said if you are below 20 words per minute, can't touch type, you should memorize every key on your keyboard. Well,
okay, so this is where we're done with the introduction. We know that muscle memory is important. We know that he has chosen a new layout, and I don't like the layout he chose, but I do like the layout he recommended. All right, so we're going to skip the memorization part, and we're going to skip to wow, I'm so fast, where he's typing 4 words per minute. All right, I think this is a good place to be.
on a pretty good feeling for your keyboard, we can now move on to, by far, the hardest, most annoying, and time-consuming section. Full memorization.
Full memorization.
Remember when I said you should be able to name every key on your keyboard? Well, now you have to. This is by far the most challenging and the hardest portion of learning to type. You have to build an association for where each letter is, on top of where each key is. The way to do this is to memorize the whole layout, be able to name every single letter, know where it is, and then, with your muscle memory of where each key is, and press that letter.
Do this part, because if I'm just typing slow as shit, people don't understand on stream why I'm typing slow as shit. And I think it's a lot cooler to show that I'm cooler than you by learning a different layout. So I can't really drop the visual aid, but I don't personally look at it or need it, you know? I just know where my keys are. You did something. I got a tier 1 sub to Big Sesh. I'm gonna slob him. Thank you, MJ, thank you. We're gonna go sesh it up when he's live. Thank you, thank you. When I went to check my noties, the first thing I saw was that I got an achievement on Twitch, and I don't know what the fuck that means. But thank you, thank you. So blind practice, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I think this is where I am. I am above 50 words per minute, but I still don't have the precise muscle memory of what the fuck is going on at any given time, because if I think about the letters, I know where they are. If I'm not thinking about the letters, my left hand gets confused a lot. Like sometimes I can type on instinct and I hit them correctly, but most of the time I don't. So I think even though I'm above the threshold he has listed for this, I still think this is kind of where I am, but we'll see what he thinks. Here's #1 gifted for the month. That is power and dedication. That is very cool, very nice. You're very nice, MJ. Very nice.
Now we're removing the visual element to it. For most people, I expect them to need between 1 to 2 days just to memorize the layout, and then quite a bit further to be able to recall where it is and then press each key. For me, since I've done this, I think 4 times now, I was able to do this in the span of 2 hours. That run that you saw earlier was me visually and getting a feeling for it, and then right after, I switched directly into doing this. And my speed went from 10 words per minute all the way down to like 3. This is a very difficult skill, especially if you're a beginner who spent a lot of time on the visual method.
You went from 10 down to 3. I guess because you were learning where the keys are and you had that visual indicator, then you had to stop and think at each letter. And this is just learning to hit the letters without stopping and thinking about them. So maybe I am above this stage as well. I'm very nice too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Round of applause for nice. We're both very nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very cool, very nice. Very perp. Very did you get the perp?
This can make your improvement feel like you hit a brick wall, or even that you're getting worse. But when you're up to 100 words per minute, there is no way you can look and scan for each key. You will just not be fast enough. I do want to note, it is possible to learn muscle memory by doing it visually using the first method I provided, but it will take a lot longer, and I'd assume it take maybe 4 or 5, or maybe even a month. Meanwhile, this method of actively recalling where it is can get you there in a week. I actually made a video on this a couple months ago. It's right here. Don't watch it, it's kind of bad. But I was able to get to 100 words per minute in under 7 days. For full transparency though, unless you've done layout swapping before, or you practice for a ridiculous amount of time, it's not likely you'll be able to get to 100 in 7 days.
It's also not possible even if you do practice for a ridiculous amount of time, because we have to remember that if you practice more than 10 minutes, you become worse. So this guy's a freak of nature. We can ignore the fact that he spent more time and became better. This is he's a good teacher though. It's sometimes you need a freak of nature to build the path for you so that you can walk along it.
I'm not saying this as like an egotistical thing, it's just that this is very difficult. It relies on your memory, it relies on how fast you can develop muscle memory, and it just overall, it's difficult. But that being said, that is basically the memorization section. Now we can move on to the speed part. Welcome to chording. If you've ever played an instrument before, you probably know what chords are. They're a set of notes played together. In typing, these notes would be letters. Now, of course, you can't just drop your fingers on the keys and expect the correct word to form, so there's an order to them. But I really want you to think about it as if you were pressing them together, because that's the whole point of chording. Instead of recognizing a word and typing it letter by letter, you want to type the word as the whole word. It's a little difficult to get your head around, but here, let me show an example. Okay, so, very simple. The word we have is which. Instead of typing it with W-H-I-C-H, what we're instead going to do is first, get the mental picture of which in our head. You got that? Got all the letters? Good. Now, put your fingers on all of the keys with the letters. So, for a visual example, here's my key map. So, this is where it is, on QWERTY. So, I got my fingers in position, and now in your head, go through the sequence of fingers you have to do in order to type the word. So, mine would be right index, right pinky, right index up to C, then left index, and then type it.
Okay, that's a little crazy.
And that's how you type extremely fast. Now, the technique for quotes is pretty much the same, but there is a small difference I want to show you. Let's go with definitely. This is a really long word that realistically most people will not be able to memorize fully. So instead, we're going to split this into segments that we're able to remember easily. So for the...
Okay, so I'm on the segmented part. Even for like smaller words, like which, I can visualize in my head how I would hit all of them. But because the W and the C are on the same finger for me, I kind of do like a WH into an ICH. And so I have to break strings anytime it's the same finger within the same word, even if it's different letters. Well, especially if it's different letters. I just have to, I break up my strings, and then it's weird for me to move my finger mid-string. So I have to think about which as basically two letters, where I place my fingers where they're supposed to go, and then I hit them, and then I move my fingers to the next place they're supposed to go. Which, honestly, if I do that all the time, my consistency should come down, because I would be pausing between hitting letters very quickly, I think. So I say that's how I do it. I don't think that's actually how I do it, but that's how I should start doing it for a little bit, I think.
For the chording, what I would do instead of trying to chord the whole word, I'll chord it in segments. So we're going to split this into DE, FIN, IT, ITE, LY. So you can do this in whatever way you feel most comfortable in. But the idea is instead of memorizing the whole word, you split it into chunks. And there you go. And that's pretty much it for the fundamentals. Using these 3 basic skills, well, mostly 2, touch typing and chording, you have absolutely more than enough skill to get 200 words per minute and even beyond. When you're past about the 50 words per minute range, it is about time to start working on chording. And by day 7, I was already working on chording, so here is my footage. I don't know how obvious it is on footage, but you can very clearly see that after just a day of practice chording, I am significantly faster at typing. Words like same, so, off, who, have, and good, more, all mostly 4-letter words. I'm already typing them way past 100 because of chording, and I'm confident that at this point, both I and you can get to 100 words per minute without a problem. Just by working on chording, making sure your accuracy is still good, reminding yourself of your muscle memory for certain keys if you need to, you can get to 100 without a doubt. That's good and all, but what if we were stuck right on that last 5%? It's time to reveal the secret. Now, to be more technical, this secret technically falls under the chording category, but it isn't direct.
Okay, so he's missing word or letters pretty frequently. And I think that's because he's going for the strategy of just relying on knowing the string you're supposed to chord and just hitting it where he thinks it is. So it seems like accuracy is not something I need to worry about. At least not too hard. Obviously, you don't want like 70% accuracy or something dumb. But it seems like his accuracy is lower than mine as he's going through this, I think.
Directly related, so I wanted to put it in a separate section. Have you ever felt like you were right on the grasp of obtaining that 100? You're so close, but you just can't seem to make that last 5%. You go to get help, and everybody just says work on accuracy. And well, if your accuracy is below about 96%, then the people who say that aren't really wrong. But if you're above that, there is something else. One of the biggest erroneous tips I see for beginner typists is to, quote, work on accuracy. And well, this is a good habit, but there is also a lot of cases where you see a lot of typists having good accuracy, but they're just not able to beat 100, or at least very slowly. And the reason is because if you look at their consistency, it's always really high. Now, technically speaking, this is good. This means you're typing every word at a similar pace. But if you really think about it, it's not actually that good. If you have an extremely high consistency, that means you're typing every word at the same pace. And obviously, some words are maybe not as easy to type as fast. Take the word like it versus program. Program is a way longer word, so you'd expect it to be typed faster. If you type it and program at the same speed, you're losing speed on the it part. This may sound a little unrelated, but in reality, when it comes to word speed, all that is chording. How fast you can chord a given word. As for what consistency value you need to do this, I find that
program. Well, hold on. Let me become program. PROGR. The only thing I have to move is my right middle finger. So program realistically should not be a difficult word for me. I think I get intimidated by the word because there's so many that are not on the home row, but that it should not be an intimidating word for me. It must be because I was scared of it when he mentioned it, because his logic is correct, right? It is a smaller word that does not necessarily make it easier or faster, because you should just be hitting the whole word. Whereas program, to me, even for its length, it's an intimidating word because it's so far off of what I'm used to typing, I think. I'm trying to figure this shit out. We're trying to study for the test of life. And this is a smart guy. And his keyboard's small and weird. But so is mine.
Above 80% is a almost for sure. You should definitely work on that. And when it comes to higher speeds, this is no longer called chording. This is what most people refer to as burst speed. So that's where that terminology comes from. And well, that's pretty much it. Outside of a few other small details, such as working on 120 seconds to improve your endurance, there really isn't much else to improve upon. And unfortunately, the only thing left to do is to just practice. There's no way around this, unfortunately. That being said, the only thing left is to watch my own run. Well, I have two on screen. One of them is my 15-second 100 words per minute, where I have a hand cam. And the other one is my 60 seconds, the last 15 seconds at least. I'll put up my reaction at the very end.
Jiminy Christmas. How did he do both of these at the same time?
This is a little bit crazy. I have a screenshot, I think, here, where I got around 95 or so words per minute, 98, sorry, on 100 words. And I was like, I could probably get to 100 on, right now. But I wasn't exactly sure. I did get to 100 in 7 days before, in this video. It's kind of bad, so I'm sorry about it. But yesterday, I decided to, no, the day before, I decided to switch one of my keys on my keyboard. Here's layout, and here's a new one. I just switch it like that. And usually, when you do that, you, like, lose a ton of speed. And I was feeling that, like, my words per minute, the graph here, I'll put up here. I'm trying not to show it on here because of reflection or whatever. But it did tank. And I was like, okay, I'm going to just make the video right there. I got to 100 words per minute on 15 seconds. And that's good enough. But I also felt a little bit bad that I couldn't, like, get all the way. But apparently I can. It took me just 2 days. So if we subtracted 3 days, sorry. If you subtract the 2 days it took for me to relearn the layout, then, I guess, there you go, 100 words per minute.
Wait, I didn't understand that last part. Did he cheat or did he not cheat? Do we think he cheated? It sounded like he cheated, because he was like, if you don't count the 2 days it took for me to relearn it, which the entire time you were relearning shit. So I think it would be silly to discount the time you spent relearning the same shit that you were relearning in the first place, you know? He changed it up on himself. I don't know. What I do know is the answer is to learn the chords. So even if I have to pause mid-word, like afford is for sure a word that I can type where all of my fingers are pre-positioned. A bull, I can do the same. So we position for afford, we type afford. We position for able, we type able. And we're gonna do that. And we're gonna be really fucking slow, because it's gonna suck. But when we get to like the last 10 minutes, because I'm probably gonna do this a lot today, or moving forward, when I'm doing the original plan of practicing 20 minutes off camera, practicing 10 minutes on camera, the off-camera stuff will be this work, and the on-camera stuff will be just me trying to put it together into tests for content. But today, because I have the time, and because I created the sound effect thing for my thing, we're gonna figure it out. All right, so fuck, A and O are actually on the same finger, so this actually will not afford. I fucked it up. Bubble. Corresponding. Fuck. Onding. Reconstruction. Unclear. Carriers. Idle. What the fuck did I hit that wasn't idle? Okay, this is 3 out of the 4 letters are all on the same hand, so, or the same finger, so fuck this one. Cows. Choir. Leave. I had my finger, I didn't position properly prior to starting it. This is another one where M and D are on the same finger, and I don't really know how to break this up. So we're gonna go for just the whole word, I guess. Killing, sushi, showers. We're gonna go for modify. and then cations. So modifications. Insect. Strikes. This is harder than I thought. What the fuck? Lover. Rebate. Moss. Inadequate. Shirts. Forums. Declined. Besides. That's not alright. Well, hold on. Reset. Communist. Where do we put our fingers for communist? Unist. Okay. Phenomenal. Fuck. I feel like an idiot. Cartoon. Thank. Promotes. Hanging. Diagrams. Utilize. Reduce. This is hard, man. I just want to type like as I think of the letter. I don't want to type the words all at once. Calendar. Let's go Kala. Indar. Anchor. A-N-C-H-O-R. A-N-C-H-O... Fuck. Pulse. Dangerous. Parks. Packs. Sort. I just want to hit the keys fast. I don't like having to think. I don't like having to think. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to type. I'm here to type first so I can think later. This has fucked up my entire plan. Okay, inter is for sure a chord. Inter. I hate it here. Inter. I moved from S to C without first hitting S. That's kind of an important part. Plinary. Son of a gun. Rob. Brought. I hit so many characters and I swear some of them were correct. It's just that one of them wasn't and that pushed the rest of them off. I swear. I swear. Legends. Uranium. Eum is something I need to work on. Namibia. Beat. Donation. Joined. Dang it. What the fuck? I don't know what's happening with my hands anymore. I'm thinking too much about where my fingers should go, and then when I start hitting things, it all just falls apart. Holy fuck. This I'm gonna work on this off camera, because I do. That was what we were going for, right? I wanted to know what to work on, but I'm gonna shoot myself in game if I have to continue doing this. This is disgusting. I don't. Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, the fucking where are his fists? Is he shaking? Is he shaking his? No, he's pointing, and I feel more like an old man right now, shaking my fist at kids in my lawn. But the kids are the letters that just happen to be in the wrong place on my fucking keyboard. I mean, look at this, right? It kind of fell apart once I started thinking about how good it felt and maybe looked. But compared to what I was doing before, I'm actually fucking typing on the keyboard now. We were actually doing okay. And then, you know, I fucked it a little bit. How were we before the first error? We were on pace to beat my record, and then we fucked up, and then we never recovered. But I just want to type. I just want to fucking get in there, you know? That's not where that is. You bitch. That's really not where that is. I don't even know why I reached for that. I'm fucking up INGs way more than I think I should be. I don't know what happened, but that suddenly became a difficult string for me. ING is tough. Yeah, yeah, SpongeBob crying in the rain is more my speed. Yeah, I just need more coffee. I am a wildly addicted, nicotinated, and caffeinated individual. I'm trying to control that because I saw my watch actually doesn't have any battery, but I was just kind of hanging out the other day, and I don't know the accuracy of this device, but something told me that my heart rate was 144, doing fucking nothing, and I was like, yeah, I probably need less. Yeah, I probably don't need my heart working overtime to sit down. Probably. So as much as I would love a little pick-me-up right now, I would also love to be alive next year. So we're gonna not. We're gonna not, and we're gonna suffer in our unstimulated lifestyle moving forward. And we're gonna type words as we see them in the order that we see them, and we're not gonna fuck them up, because that would be bad, and that would make me upset. And we're gonna be profitable. You're a perfect white monster. Right after that, you just went to sleep. Yeah, that's that is it's kind of how caffeine works. You really like the taste of Monster, and then you start drinking it a lot, and then you're like, well, fuck. Now my resting dosage of caffeine is more or less all of it, and there's really no winning after that, because like you no longer get a pick-me-up from it. You just you have to take a break every once in a while. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And I want it to work all the time. In college, I learned kind of like a bit of the science of how the brain works. I took a bunch of psychology and biopsych classes. And I learned about like neurotransmitters and whatnot. And I came up with the plan where I would never get a tolerance to stimulants by concocting like a weekly rotation where it was like, okay, on Mondays I take caffeine, on Tuesdays I take something else, on Wednesdays I take something else, and it's like going to the gym, right? Push pull legs. By the time you get to the same muscle group, to the same drug, you have recovered from the last time you used it. And so I was going to take all these stimulants and never have any addiction to them or any tolerance to them. And instead, I got all the drugs and I just took all of them every day, and I gave myself probably some sort of permanent damage. MJ, you should keep it like that. Amir, you're confusing me, because how the fuck are you falling asleep after a white monster if you only drink 1 or 2 coffee a day? That's you must be on that extra strength shit. Or you must have been really EB yesterday. You guys are vastly different. You're special. Heard that, brother. Aren't we all? I'm special. Also, you may just have ADHD. Apparently, my girlfriend has tons of ADHD, and she gets EP from caffeine. And MJ's always EP, because barely sleep. In that case, I would stay away from the Dr. Pepper at midnight. Oh, grr. Okay, alright. We're all different and special. I will refrain from making generalizations at this point, because I don't know how the fuck y'all live your lives, and I don't know what the fuck drugs are gonna do for you. This is not medical advice. I'm just a guy who does a lot of stimulants. Do what works for you, and if something doesn't work for you, don't do it anymore. And you should keep an open mind, and you should do things if you're not sure if they'll work for you or not, so that you can find out if they do. Yep. And stay in school and do drugs. Yep. Hell yeah. Look at you guys being energetic at night. That is not me at all. It is me sometimes. Especially if I pulled an all-nighter. Like last night after I got off stream, I was like, you know what? I could probably keep going. Or maybe it was before I even booted up. I don't know. Some days I pull an all-nighter, and then when I finish work, I just fall asleep immediately. But I think it's usually if I'm able to stay awake long enough to eat food, then I get some energy back for a couple hours, and then I'm like, well, I don't want to sleep now. I don't want to do it. I've made it this long without it. Do I even need it? But the all-nighters are probably contributing to my fucked up heart. Dang it. That just, I was in the wrong. The opposite of ADHD at the outer edge. Still normal. But something's wrong. Something's wrong, eh? I think you're perfect just the way you are. I think nothing is wrong. What would the opposite of ADHD even be? Like, what do you mean by that? Do you have less active? Fuck, hold on. ADHD is hyperactive. The H is hyperactive. Attention deficit hyperactive disorder. So you have more attention than normal, and you're not hyperactive. You're hyper inactive. I like that, MJ. Just a mentally ill girl. We're not worried about do's or don'ts or labels. We're just, there's something wrong and we accept our fate. It be what it do. I do think that if you truly have something wrong with you that like causes difficulty in life, you should probably figure out what it is, if just to know what to expect when things go wrong. But I think if you feel just a little off, if you're just like not normal, I think it's best that you don't know what's wrong and you just assume that all is well in the world and that life is good. Because if you start worrying about what's wrong, do you ever really know what's right? You know? You gotta enjoy what's good, what you got. Damn it. Melbourne. That wasn't bad. Abnormal passivity. That's a good word, passivity. I like that. Collect all the achievements. You guys are, nothing's wrong, everyone else are wrong. Yes. Yes, that's correct. That's, I guess, I don't really know how to react to collecting all the achievements. I don't know how I feel about that one. But nothing is wrong, everyone else is wrong. That I can wholeheartedly agree with. I think fuck them. And I don't know who is, but fuck them. We are the best, and everyone else is missing out on whatever may or may not be wrong or right with us. Fuck them. Fuck 'em. Life is a game and it sucks. Okay. What if life is a game and it's good? It just has a really long tutorial that sucks. Because let me tell you, I used to, I also, you know, I've been through some life sucks phases myself. But I think life is actually a really good game. I think life is fucking awesome. All you have to do is make enough money that you don't have to worry about a lot. Because where I fucked up when I realized that life was a game is I thought money was the leaderboard. And then I just became like an asshole workaholic. And I was like, man, dude, this game sucks. It's rigged. I'll never be at the top of the leaderboard. And then I realized you can just kind of make your own leaderboard. You can just pick what category you want to compete in, if you even want to treat it like a competitive game. Because that's also an option of just not competing. All you need is to make enough money that life doesn't suck. I disagree with leaving capitalism. I think life will always suck if you leave capitalism. You just make enough money that it doesn't suck, and then you decide what you want to do, right? And so if it sucks, you have picked the wrong thing to do, and you can just pick again. And you can always pick again, and that's why it's fucking cool, right? What the fuck are you talking? What does that word mean? Synopticon? Synopticon. What does that word mean? A sociological concept where many citizens watch the few. Oh. Is that a new word, or has that been around for a while? Because that perfectly describes the way most people live their lives, I think. That's... Anyone who's ever watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians, they are victims of the Synopticon. You study sociology. Okay, that makes sense. That's, yeah. Being in college, it makes it harder to do what I'm saying to a degree. It's not really up to you how much money you make. But that's also, like, why age comes into play. Because, like I said, the game is good, but the tutorial sucks. If you're in college, you're kind of extending the tutorial. It will... At least it's supposed to make the game more fun when you finish. I didn't finish, and I still think the game is fun. So, your results may vary. Fucking Synopticon. That's crazy. We're gonna add that to the list, all right? We're gonna break out of the Synopticon. And we're going to become the wealthy elite so that we can trap everyone else in a Synopticon and make them watch us. It was Panopticon in First Modern Age. Panopticon. It's the everyone is trapped and can only see the center. That's jail. They talked about that on the yard once. A panopticon. Applies to modern surveillance, where users' behavior is trapped, creating a digital panopticon. Reform behavior by making inmates internalize the gaze. It's Big Brother. The first modern age was a panopticon. I don't understand how it was the I think it's both. Are we not both right now? Where everyone is on their phones watching people do things just because the people are known for doing things. But the panopticon is just the reverse of, while you're on your phone watching the other people, you are being watched by the prison warden. That is Big Brother meta. Can we not have it both ways? You say no, but I still feel right. I'm going to need an analysis on why I'm wrong. Otherwise, I will continue to be right. I'm waiting. This will be part of your final grade. Prove this Twitch streamer college dropout why he's wrong about the thing that you study and he just Googled a few minutes ago. Come and get me. It could also be that Google gave me a fundamental misunderstanding of what the two are, because based on the root word opticon, you would think that they probably are mutually exclusive to a degree. But the way that I understand them through Google's synopsis is that they are kind of describing two separate but equally possible ideas. In the Panopticon, the elites are watching people to see if they are following the rules. I added 2C because I think that's in line with what you said. And that makes sense, right? Big Brother. Big Brother is in the center of the round-shaped jail, keeping track of everyone. But in the Synopticon, the people are watching other people to see if they're following the rules. What? That's not what I got out of Google's. The many watch the few through mass media, creating a viewer society of surveillance. Alright, we're going into the full Wikipedia article. Never mind, no we're not. The Wikipedia article doesn't really have much going on. There's a third one called the Omniopticon. What is that one? That sounds cool. Different models of power. We demonstrate this argument by analyzing 3 cases of camera utilization within educational systems. I don't understand what the purpose of that paper is. A synopticon. Wait, no, this is a syntopicon. What the fuck? That's not synopticon. Yeah, it's not what I googled at all, Wikipedia. Don't show up in my results, you bitch. I guess there's just not a lot of data that I can find on Synopticon in Google. I don't really... Top-down instrumental way of theorizing the media. Security check. The thing today is, your life is just about building your own project called identity. Yes. We're on the same page. I agree. Alongside the Panopticon, our reciprocal system of control, the Synopticon, in which the many watch the few. I point to the value of Mathiassen's arguments, but also suggest a reconsideration. I consider were recent challenges to theorizing surveillance as panoptic leave this... Fuck, dude. Words are hard. The Synopticon is tied to a top-down instrumental way of theorizing media. It neglects resistance, alternative currents in media production and reception, the role of culture, and the increasing centrality of the internet. Mathiassen's piece is most useful in a narrower way in highlighting how surveillance and the mass media interact rather than thinking about the role of media in control more generally. It's hard to find some interesting information about sociological facts until you don't read some studies or sociology at uni. I think you mix that up a little bit. Until you don't doesn't seem right. Until you do read some studies or study it at uni, that would make sense. I imagine that the modern sociological concepts are probably just difficult to digest through the internet. But until you do read some studies or study it at university, you won't get it. Right? Yeah. It's hard to find interesting information until you do read some studies. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. It seems like bleeding edge concepts, which I don't know if this falls into bleeding edge, but any newer concepts of like, hey, actually, this is how the world works right now, you're never going to really be able to find good info on it unless you're embedded in that culture. So it makes sense that I'm not finding good shit. But I will take your word for it because I simply cannot disprove you. The panopticon has given way to the synopticon because all the kids are on their phones so damn much. It's more like philosophy and psychology mixed in one. I don't know if I agree with that. I was an educated man once upon a time. All right, I got into a good school. I just didn't like my school. I think philosophy and psychology are both rather centralized to the individual, whereas sociology is quite literally the study of society. I think it would be more like economics and politics in combination with psychology. I think as a study, you could probably have sociology without philosophy, but you need the psychology of the individual to determine how the society as a whole will act. I think that's where we stand at the moment. For that reason, I was always a self-centered prick, and I never really paid attention to sociology, because I was like, why do I care what other people are doing en masse if I can just do my own thing regardless? And now that everyone is so connected in all of these many different ways, I'm starting to regret my decision to not know what society as a whole does. Because let me tell you, I rely on society a lot more than I ever would have admitted as a child. But the society is just many people making some social things. Yeah, exactly. That's why you need the psychology. The psychology is part of sociology, but not focused on an individual. I agree. Yeah. We're saying the same thing. You could not have a society without the individual, and therefore how the individual thinks and acts and operates is important. We just don't care as much about each individual as we do the collective patterns on the whole. And that's why you give names to things like synopticons, because it is an observation of how many people are doing things rather than like social media addiction, which would be how psychology would approach it. You know what I'm saying? And everything I say is a gross overgeneralization. I am not a subject matter expert on either field. I'm just generalizing it down to the point that I can understand and contribute to the conversation. I'm sorry, we're talking about people killing themselves now? What are we saying? Grand. So when someone kills himself in psychology, you study the one person, but in sociology, you blame the society for that. Yes. Yes, factual. Yes. In psychology, you're like, well, why'd he do it? In sociology, you're like, where did we go wrong to be so shitty that he would rather be dead than a part of our society? Yes. And that's why psychologists go on to become therapists, and sociologists go on to make decisions for society. Yes, yes. Understanding different perspectives of the same things. Yes, yes. Fuck. Typing is hard. Sociologists can be therapists too. I stand corrected. I guess, I mean, yeah, they would have the perspective of it's not your fault society has fucked you over. That would make you feel better, probably, and convince you not to kill yourself, maybe. But if a sociologist is a therapist, what can they do other than provide the comfort that it's not your fault? Probably drive you towards contributing to community to preserve a sense of fulfillment in your life, because they understand the value of society and can present that to you in a way where maybe they can convince you to contribute. The more you know from uni, the more you don't like the society. Yeah, I mean, all of society's evolution has to have been, hey, what works for us right now, in a sense that we're also, it's what works for us, right? Where us, to the people making the decisions, is just the wealthy elite. So what works for them is not necessarily what works for us, aside from the fact that they need us, the working class, to not fucking revolt against them. So the wealthy elite will always make the decisions. They need to benefit themselves, and in order to benefit themselves, they have to sometimes benefit the masses so that they still have masses to leech off of to stay wealthy and elite. You know? Right now there's nothing new. You know? It do be like that. It do be like that. It's hard to shift all of society in meaningful ways that should be studied. You know, someone makes one decision, it's not going to change the whole fucking world. Unless that one decision is to press the big red button in the nuclear briefcase. That's a decision that could change the whole world right there. That could end it all. And boy, is that a big red button. But yeah. After this test, I'm going to head over to typing. Nope, I'm typing right now. I'm going to head over to AIM Labs and do some aiming. And we're going to learn how to aim really well, so that if anyone ever does try to hit the big red button, we can take their fucking head off in-game. I am far too apathetic towards anything and everything to ever assassinate a real human being. If anyone ever decides to hit that big red button in real life, it is what it is. Brother, it was a good one. Yep, the people at the top are watching my Twitch stream right now and have access to that big red button. So listen up, guys. Whether you press it or not, I'm on your side. I'm on your side. You were taking the Myers-Briggs? How'd you do? How'd you do? Did you get a 100? You get a high score? Are you a cool personality? Did it say that you're a really cool person? What are the results? Is that like INTPHJ? Is that LGBTQIA? I don't remember the results of the Myers-Briggs test. I don't remember what score it gives you. ISFPT. I'm gonna need you to say that in real words. Please. I've already looked up too many things today. I am familiar with the concept of Myers-Briggs, but I don't know what the letters mean. It's personality test. Yes. Yes, it is. It is, so I is for introvert, obviously, because everyone gets I. S and N, because it was N in my example. So what would be S and N? Social and non-social. I don't know. Send me a screenshot. All right. Now, what did Myers-Briggs say about society? Do we trust him to evaluate you? It's I or O. What? You got S. I don't, observant. ISF for feeling, P for prospect. Why the fuck don't they do O? Why was it ISFT, FPT? All right, so we're introverted. Is it because you're in the middle? Because you're kind of observant and a little intuitive? We're feeling, we're prospecting. I don't know what these words mean in isolation, so I'm going to have to compare them. We are introverted rather than extroverted. That makes sense. Didn't actually have to compare that. We are observant by a minor majority compared to intuitive. We are feeling compared to thinking. We are very prospecting compared to judging. We are turbulent compared to assertive. Makes sense. I think. All right, that seems like a good score. I'd take that score. It's a pretty good score. You seem like you would work well as part of a team. I feel like that bottom line, assertive versus turbulent, and kind of above it as well, prospecting versus judging, I think that's where it determines if you're like going to build your own shit and run your own shit versus if you're a good teammate. Because if someone is wildly assertive, they're a pretty shitty teammate, probably. But they're probably also pretty good at leading the team. So the way I understand it would be that you're a good teammate, and it would be tough for you to make leadership decisions. But I'm not here to tell you what your life is. So that could be wrong. The test could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe you're a 5-star leader. I don't know. Today is an odd numbered day, so we're going to do odd numbered tasks. We're going to start with strafe shot entry. And because Amir is here, I'm very fucking nervous. Because this guy's really good at aiming. And I'm not. Oh, shit. First, we're going to switch you to you. Because we have improved and we want to flex that. I'm not loving it so far. I did a little better, and then I started fucking up again. We're just gonna leave that guy alone. Alright, I hate my life. Fucking goodness gracious. Just put the fries in the bag. Put the fries in the bag. Holy fuck. Alright, we're gonna drink some water. We're gonna say that I was dehydrated there and that was the problem. We're gonna drink some water. Ah, very nice, very nice. Very cool, very nice. God bless water. I low-key expected these guys to move when we started, and then they didn't. Fuck. Fuck. Okay, that didn't feel great. We're off to a rough start here. We're hitting very low scores on our first two tests. I don't think it's going to be a great day to move the mouse. I think we're a little fucked. But I also think we're going to push through and improve. Never mind. God, is it hot in here for anyone else? What other excuses can I come up with? Jiminy Christmas. What the fuck is happening? I wanna go all the way. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing it. Losing it. Oh, good golly, goodness gracious. Alright. Alright, we're done playing the games. We're gonna hit this shit. Oh, we're fucked. I'm gonna say some terrible things here in a second. I'm gonna press that big red fucking button. This is the worst. That was actually the worst I've ever done. Holy fuck. All right. All right. It's a good day. Today's a good day. All right. Today's a good day. It's what a time to be alive. It's a good day. I'm gonna fucking lose it. Dude, I just can't move my mouse in a straight line right now. Dude, if I could lose points on any of these tests, I would be doing that right now. I would have to stop today. I don't think I can aim right now. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It doesn't help that my left eye is glazing over. Send help. Send me new eyes and arms. Send me a fucking Neuralink. I'm actually just really jittery today. I think this is what happens the second day of sleep deprivation. No bullshit. No bullshit. You expect decreased cognitive performance the day after getting shitty sleep. So like if I only sleep 2 hours on a Monday, like if I wake up on Monday after only sleeping 2 hours, my performance on Monday will be kind of bad, but you can push through it. And then on Tuesday, you will also have shitty performance, just because of the way the brain works. Like it's even if you slept the full 8 hours on Tuesday, your brain hasn't performed all of the maintenance that it missed on Monday. And so it's a different feeling, but it's still like you're fucked a little bit. Like, this is easily the worst that I've ever started out on this test. But you know what? We're picking it up. No, we're not. Despite all of our hardships, we are continuing to power through. And in spite of our scores, I think that alone deserves an applause. Everyone struggles with performance issues sometimes. All that matters is that we try. Holy shit! What? And trying hard pays off, ladies and gentlemen. That's a fucking new record. We did it, we did it. Now we can just purposefully tank the rest of the day because we have accomplished something. My hand really is like shaky though. My arm feels too weak to maintain a high degree of precision. Yeah, okay, alright, okay, whatever, man. Whatever, man. That didn't feel too bad. And it didn't score too poorly either. I think we're doing okay. Now, what the fuck is these guys? They just move side to side. Understood, understood. I need to start remembering the names of each exercise so I know what the fuck I'm getting into. Yo, we clicked the shit out of those balls. Hell yeah, that's a new record. Hell yeah, it is. We clicked the shit out of those balls. And I think we were 493 when we started today. So we gained absolutely nothing from that. But we did fight through the disability of shaky hands and sleepy faces. And we persevered and we accomplished the goal of performing the task. And tomorrow, we will be better. And that's all that matters. Just gotta be a little better at something. At something every day. Just gotta be a little better. I was gonna play COD today, but I don't really want to now. I don't really want to now. I kind of want to go lay on my couch for a little bit and then come back and do offline typing. That's kind of what I want to do now. So I'm gonna cut it here, folks. I might end up streaming COD later, but I might not. Dub 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 dub. What are we dubbing for? Dub dub dub. Thank you for coming, MJ and Mir and anyone else who may have come. I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow at least, maybe later tonight if anyone wants to play Call of Duty with me. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.